By the end of this video, the Evo 10 will be completely painted, and hopefully we can do a little bit of assembly to see how good it looks. So today we're going to paint all of the exterior parts for the build. Yesterday we painted the chassis itself, turned out absolutely beautiful, did the engine bay as well, and it turned out phenomenal. We have both front fenders. We'll be blending onto the doors, which is perfect because both of the front doors have a little bit of chipping right up in here. So we're going to be blending onto the front doors so everything matches. We have a black hood that we need to do a little bit of body work on. A couple things up front, a little bit of damage in the back. And then we have a new OEM front bumper and I think it's a Voltex style front lip that we need to get prepped out for paint. First, we're going to get everything sanded down. Then we're going to move on to body work, mainly on the hood. Third, primer. Fourth, sand the primer. Fifth, we hit the paint booth. Just finished up getting all of the parts prepped out. So here's the bumper, still a little bit wet. Fender, hood, Voltex lip, other fender, hood scoop, and here we got the doors. Driver side and passenger side. Let's do it. Let's head to the booth, get everything set up. Got to spray out some sealer on a lot of these parts, everything but the doors, and we can get to painting. I'm so excited to see this car finally complete, man. Later today, hopefully she'll be somewhat complete. moving right along. Everything is currently in sealer. I don't really need to do anything with the doors till the end. I need to get all of the base coat on the grade handles first, and then I can start working on my blend on both of the doors. I'll probably blend to right about the midway point, kind of at an angle. The color is so dang close anyway, we probably don't need a blend, but if you guys can remember, this door had some chipping on the front of it, so I figured we may as well take care of all that at once and make this car perfect. We are done with all of the base coat, done with our blend on the doors. Everything is looking good so far. I checked it with the sunlight. This little guy right here kind of replicates the sun. And with the lights off, you can see if you have any weird splotching going on or anything of the sort, and everything looks beautiful. So I'm gonna let this flash off for probably a good 30 minutes. Come in, hit it with some clear, and we are done. Everything is complete, everything is fully sprayed, and everything looks perfect except for the hood. I don't know what happened on the hood, man. I lost my flow, and the second coat had quite a bit of orange peel. I decided to go ahead and slap on a third coat to try to smooth it out a bit, and it kind of just stacked on top of the texture and added more texture to it. But thankfully we have 3 pretty decent sized coats on the hood. Nothing that a wet sand and polish won't take care of. But other than that, I know it's dark in here, but here's the doors. Fenders are perfect. Thankfully that front bumper turned out great. eBay special Voltex style lip turned out really, really nice. And the other door. Can you guys see the blend? I sure can't. As always, gonna let these dry in the booth overnight, come back tomorrow, get them back to the shop, and we can do some assembly work on the Evo 10. While we wait for the parts to cure up in the paint booth, I'm gonna go ahead and take care of the undercoating. We epoxied the wheel wells when we did the engine bay and the rest of the car. I didn't put any base coat on the wheel wells or clear coat because I wanted to spray some Raptor liner. Raptor liner is my undercoating of choice. We did it on the blue Evo, we've done it on the yellow Evo, and now we're gonna do it on this as well. So it's already epoxied. You have 72 hours after this epoxy primer is laid down to do your top coat. So 3 full days. It hasn't been 3 days yet. We are good to go. If it's more than 3 days, you wanna grab probably some red Scotch-Brite, scuff it up, give it a little bit of a scuffing, you could say, just so the top coat adheres properly. All right, this side's fully masked off. I left my masking paper at the paint booth, so we're using paper towel today. Let's go ahead and get the passenger side masked off, and we can start spraying out some Raptor liner. Now I am using blue painter's tape just because the clear coat and the paint on this engine bay is so fresh. The green or orange adheres quite a bit better. I don't want there to be any sort of chance of the tape leaving imprints on our beautiful brand new engine bay. So the blue is much less sticky and it should do wonders. I usually use the big spray out of the gun Raptor liner. I was at the paint store and I found these cans. I don't know if this is a new thing for them, but I figured I'm gonna try the cans this time around. So it still is a 2-part. And what you do is you shake this up for 2 minutes, you pull this cap out, you place it on the bottom here, cram it in, and then you get to spraying. They recommend 2 coats, 20 minutes in between each coat, and a spray distance of 2 feet, 24 inches is what they recommend. I'm really curious how this can is gonna work out versus the gun. I'll let you guys know. The gun is perfect, but this is easier. I bought 2 cans for this project. I think I'll probably use half of a can. I guess we'll see. As soon as you activate it, you have 60 minutes to use it. So far, I'm liking it. It's a little bit more tricky, I would say, versus the gun method to get a nice even coverage, but I think with some patience and practice, we'll get her good. I think the can is great for what it's designed for, smaller areas like this. If we were to do a full undercarriage again, like we did on the yellow Evo, it's definitely worth spraying it out of the gun. But overall, this thing turned out very, very nice. Second coat went on better just because I understood how to spray better. Much less overspray, way less pressure coming out of the can. But as you can see, there's still a little bit that ended up on the ground. With the gun though, you have to mask off your whole entire shop. So like I said, small stuff like this, the can is perfect. She turned out so nice. All right, let's go grab all of the exterior panels for the car, see how they turned out. It's been a day now, they should be dry. It is 2 hours later, and I have something important to share with you guys. So when I was spraying that, I was fully masked up, had the shop door wide open like it is here, had all the ventilation I could possibly get in the shop. Then I went to the other shop, sat down, had the biggest vision blur, dizziness, everything you could possibly imagine, obviously from spraying the undercoating. 10 times worse than I've ever experienced with spraying any sort of rattle can or any sort of other paint. I don't know what it is. It must be the activator or some sort of chemical in this undercoating. Extremely, extremely dangerous. I actually heard a story one time from a close buddy of mine. One of his friends was spraying Raptor liner, this exact stuff we just sprayed. He was wearing a mask, but in a non-ventilated shop, like for example, this shop here, closed doors. It didn't have any sort of ventilation going on. He went to bed that night and unfortunately he never woke up. So this stuff can be pretty freaking gnarly if you don't have a proper mask, proper ventilation. It does outgas for about 2 hours is what they say. So we should be good now, but I figured I'd share that with you guys. It's an amazing, excellent product, but be careful if you're gonna be spraying it, man. Be very careful. Here's how it looks all finished up. Nice and rock hard. The gun definitely goes on quite a bit thicker, but this still looks freaking beautiful. All right, now that I can drive because I can see properly, let's go pick up our parts.
Lift it, I bought it like that, lift it.
I don't ever see you driving it.
It sits in my freaking front of my yard.
All right, let's start doing some assembly work. So I'm gonna start with the hood. So let's go hood hinges, hood, and then we can slap some doors on, fenders on. I probably won't do the front bumper yet, but I might just briefly set it up on there just to see how all this is gonna look on here. All right, we got 2 doors on. I'm not gonna put the driver's side or the passenger side front door on just so we have better easeability of installing the whole entire interior, and I don't wanna scratch it up, but I'm dying to see this thing somewhat complete. Let's go ahead and get the fender on and see how this entire side, that 2 weeks ago, around 2 weeks ago, was completely smashed in. Should look good. I did decide to go ahead, put all the fender bolts in, and other miscellaneous bolts so that when everything's assembled, it's all properly paint matched and looks beautiful. Check out those bolts. We have a almost complete looking car. One run on all of the parts combined. That one run happens to be very, very easy to take care of. That guy there, I'm used to taking care of way bigger runs than that, so that is not a big deal whatsoever. But guys, this whole side has got all the body panels on it. And man, oh man, she looks good. I need to spend a little bit of time getting that front fender to door gap better. But that gap is perfect. That gap is perfect. Rear bumper's not attached. So far, everything is looking absolutely beautiful. Let's get the trunk back on. The only reason that was off was so we could get proper paint coverage. And on the quarter panel, the wing was kind of in the way. I was gonna mask and try to shoot around it. Figured let's just pull off the trunk and the wing together so we can get a proper, complete paint job. I know it looks scary putting these panels on by myself, but once you've done it a few times, you kind of get the hang of it, and it's not so bad. Just make sure you use big old towels to protect your new paint. Now she looks like an Evo. Dang. So far, we have made a ton of progress today, man. All of the exterior panels painted, ton of stuff installed. Full underside of the hood is complete. Top side of the hood's complete. I'm gonna finish today up with getting all of the firewall matting back on. It's something I always tend to forget. Now you don't necessarily need it if it was something like the yellow Evo 8 build where we're trying to go for a very nice, I guess you would say an OEM plus look. I would leave it off and I would have left the hood insulation off as well. But this, I want more of like an OEM, actual true OEM rebuild. All right, there's a total of 3 mats that go on the firewall. One right in the center, the big one, the main guy. And then there's 2 on each strut tower. Sorry, 1, I don't know what I'm saying, 1 on each strut tower. Okay, I guess we can do one more part. I'm gonna do the brake, the ABS pump with all the lines. Well, I don't know if this is clean enough. It's kind of starting to look like the yellow Evo. Of course, I'm not going through repowder coating, re-zinc plating every little thing, but every single part that does go on, of course, is getting a bath. There's no way I could install the parts dirty onto this car. And man, oh man, I am very, very pleased with how this bay is turning out. And of course, how the whole freaking car is turning out. That's gonna be a wrap for today. I hope you guys enjoy. Remember, if you wanna win this car, every $3 you spend, first link down below is 1 entry. I will see you guys tomorrow or in the next video. We really need to get the motor and trans back in, but I figured I would replace the clutch before it goes in, so that's what I'm waiting on. And then the motor and trans can go back in the car, but tomorrow we might do the full interior. We'll see. I'll see you guys then.